Get ready for an eargasm as you listen to unsolicited advice from that chick you know, and that chick you know would be me, India L. Trotter. Sit back, relax, and get ready for a full dose of real talk. Enjoy the podcast, and note, this podcast is for mature audiences only. Well, hello, everyone. It is I, India L. Trotter, and I just want to welcome you to my podcast. Thank you for tuning in to Unsolicited Advice from that chick you know, and that chick you know would be me. And today I'm a little tired, but at the same time, I'm really excited about starting on this podcast because over the weekend, I had some incidents that led me to want to do this podcast. So I kind of felt like I needed to do it right away as opposed to wait until Monday or Tuesday. I wanted to do it while everything was still fresh in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, here I am. And you have to forgive me because I'm a little sluggish. I've eaten everything under the sun today because this is my last day, or this was my last day before I actually start my new healthy living regimen. I can't even say the shit, but healthy living regimen because I have gained about 40 pounds, and albeit I still look good, which I will talk about a little bit later in this podcast because it's all relative to today's topic. Albeit I still look good, I need to get this additional weight off because it'll help me feel better, it'll help me look better, it'll help me, I just want to be healthy. I just want to be healthy. So, anywho, so I've eaten everything under the sun. I'm a little sluggish, so if I don't sound like my normal self, that's probably what it is. But I definitely, like I said, wanted to get into this topic today. And I am, again, so happy that you all are here to listen to it. So, without further ado, let's dive in, shall we? So, I'm at work, and for those who don't listen to my podcast or have not listened to my podcast, I have two jobs, one of which that I only work on the weekend. So I was at my weekend job and I wear uniforms to both of my places of employment. But one of the things that's a part of my uniform are these black pants. And albeit I used to be a perfect size 12, I am now probably a perfect size 14 in these pants that are fitting on my ass because again I need to lose weight. We talked about that in the introduction. So I'm wearing these size 12s on a size 14 ass. So my pants are tight as shit, but I look good in them. And let me tell you how I know I look good in them. So again, I'm at work, minding my business. Do. Little customer comes in, and I always call everybody little, but customer comes in, and I look up, and he is freaking gorgeous. Like, I don't know well, I do know where he's from because I ended up having to take some address information from him, but from a foreign country, I personally thought that he was probably like um, Middle Eastern, Arab, Pakistani. Like, he had that olive colored skin with the dark black, jet black hair, perfect white teeth. I mean, he was just freaking gorgeous. So it made it very difficult for me to help him because as I'm looking at this man, I know I'm cheese grinning, like I'm looking at him like he's a piece of me, like he was eye candy. So he was very, very, very nice on the eyes, if you will. So he comes in, I help him. We have this little back and forth banter, a little chatter back and forth. We talk about um, some things that he's doing as far as work is concerned. Because, while I'm working, I actually have an opportunity just to have like idle chatter with folks. And I just dive right into their business. So, I'm finding out what he does and what he's done and what he plans to do with his life. And as I'm finding out all this information, I'm checking him out completely. And let me just go back and say one last time, he was fucking gorgeous. So, anywho, I continue to help him in my tight ass size 12 pants that really are fitting on the size 14 ass. And apparently, he was checking me out also. So he leaves my place of business, and then the phone rings like probably 20 minutes later. So I answer the phone, giving the company greeting, and he asked me this like really silly question, like one of those questions that you call and ask, but you already really know the answer to, but you're just calling because you really just wanted to have conversation with someone. So then he hits me with the maybe we can go out for drinks sometime. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? Because, like, I know that, again, I've gained a little bit of weight, but I still am curvy and cute. So when he offered drinks, I was like, hmm, sounds like a plan. So because I was at work, I really couldn't fraternize in that respect. So I said, well, I have your number. I'll text you. So I began to text with this gentleman, and come to find out, he was 27 years old. 27. Did I mention that I'm 44? I'll be 45 this year. So, kudos to me, toot of my own horn, that I still look good enough that I can have a 27-year-old who is freaking gorgeous walk in and be totally interested in me. Side note, did I mention that he was freaking gorgeous? Okay, but anyway, so I guess my question is, and what leads me to this podcast is, what is an appropriate or inappropriate age gap? What is too young for a 40-year-old? What is too old for a 20-year-old? Like we've all heard the term cougar, and older women dating younger men is not a new it's not a new concept. I mean, we have of course always had older men dating younger women, but when we think about older women dating younger men, this is happening all across the country, the United States and other countries now. It's totally acceptable. But I think when you talk about unleashing your own personal inner cougar, one of the main things that you have to be concerned with is your own comfort level. And while I was extremely flattered to be invited out for drinks with this 27-year-old man, I still am kind of apprehensive. And so it made me think about unleashing my own inner cougar. And so, with that, this podcast is A Cougar Unleashed. I guess our best place to start would be to define what a cougar is. And so, as you know, I like to go to my favorite, Urban Dictionary, because again, I'm urban. And so I decided that that would be the best place to find the appropriate definition for what it is that I'm trying to say. So, a cougar, as per the definition at urbandictionary.com, is an older, experienced woman who happens to find herself in a sexual relationship, committed or not, with a younger man. She is not necessarily a slut, nor is she desperate. And just side note, I think that back in the day when we used to talk about cougars, everybody used to try to paint them as these desperate old women trying to get younger men, and no longer that is the case. But back to the definition. So she offers sexual expertise and is open to new experiences. She simply wants to have fun, and though older, she may actually look younger than her quote unquote hookup or the person who she's actually dealing with. And just understand that even though I am almost 45 years old, I never, ever get anyone guessing that I'm in my 40s. I'm always getting them thinking that I am like uh, late 20s, early 30s, never 40s. So again, I digress. And back to the definition. She is attractive, she is confident, and she just wants to have fun. She will not attempt to trap her mate into marriage, children, or even an exclusive relationship. She is not interested in drama or games, as that would interfere with the pleasure that she enjoys. And that, my friends, was taken from the Urban Dictionary. So, I think that gives us a pretty clear definition of what a cougar is. Now, as a backup, I went to WikiHow. Is that how you say it? Wiki. See, I got caught up for just a second. WikiHow. And they had a definition as well. And I kind of really liked their definition because it went a little bit more in depth into what I'm trying to convey. It states cougars are popularly defined as women in their 40s or older who date significantly younger men, generally at a 10-year age gap or more, which was a question that someone asked on Facebook because, again, I always do podcast research, and someone said, well, what's the gap that defines what a cougar is? So, generally, as a rule, it's a 10-year age gap or more. Pop culture paints the cougar as predatory and pathetically desperate, but women have recently begun fighting this stereotype. Real cougars, they argue, are confident, successful, single women over the age of 40 who, tired of unromantic and narrow minded men their own age, date younger, more attractive, and adventurous men. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Here's a little tidbit for you. Did you know that most women reach their sexual prime or their peak when they turn 40? And it's really quite interesting because most men are in their sexual peak in their 20s. Now, I don't know if that means anything, but it's just, something to think about. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I did a little poll on Facebook, in some of the Facebook groups I'm in, and asked the question, especially for the women over 40, what is too young? Like, would you go younger? And then I think I asked the men, would you go older? And it's always interesting some of the feedback that I get because there are those women who are over 40 who are like, nah, it's nothing that anybody under like 30 can do for me, but give me some dick. Now they may not necessarily have said that, but I'm paraphrasing. But at the end of the day, it's like one of those things where what do you really have in common with a 20-year-old? Some of us have children who are in their 20s. And so for me, it's kind of like weird. When someone says that they're in their 20s, I'm looking at my son. He's 24. My daughter is 20. What what am I going to say to them when I bring this dude home? If I had to guess, I'm going to say that it's going to be a no-go in the Trotter family household. It's going to be no bueno. So, albeit by all definition, I could be considered a cougar, um, one of the main reasons why I don't think I venture into cougar land, if you will, is because I have children that are in their 20s. And as a special guest, I brought on my daughter, Jordan. And Jordan is here. She's 20 years old. And I just want to ask her, Jordan, you can't. You can't look at the screen, Jordan. You have to reply.
Oh,
Because it's a podcast. People don't.
right.
People don't
Okay.
see you. So Jordan.
Well, first,
Wait a minute. Wait, Jordan.
go ahead.
Jordan.
Yes.
So how would you feel, Jordan, if I brought home a, let's just say, 27-year-old?
I'd say no.
Slim goodie.
No Slim Goody. No.
With bulging biceps.
No, we not gonna.
Perfectly white teeth.
No, we
A
not.
twinkle in his eye.
Listen, we not gonna do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We not. No, he's 27.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Are you gonna tell your listeners how old you are?
My listeners know how old I am.
Say it again, just in case. Go ahead. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, you want to bring home Slim Goody, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? No.
What's wrong with that? I don't look like I'm 44.
Okay, but you are 44.
So what is it? What does age have to do with it? What if he makes me happy?
That's very nice, but like your children make you happy?